This is a complete Facebook ad campaign with hundreds of ads for a product that doesn't exist yet. All those ads are made in a way that make you learn as much as possible about the product before even it's launched. A campaign like that would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars if you would go with an agency to do it. And I'm going to show you how you can do that in an hour. And I'm not joking. How can I do that? It's because I have spent hours preparing the prompt for you to do exactly the same thing and get exactly the same result as I just showed you. All you need to have to start is a business idea, a product description, whatever your product is, as long as you are able to just describe it, you just have to follow the different prompts that I'm going to walk you through. And this will give you first all the marketing materials that you need, meaning every marketing angle and every hook that goes with it, all the different ad copies you can use in your ad, all the different headlines. And on top of that, it's going to give you prompts that you can use to generate images on Midjourney if you don't have the image of your product yet. And yes, it can work. This is exactly the images I used here. And if you think this is already a lot for one single video, after I will show you how to create the campaign from scratch, doing it in front of you, recording my screen, I will also show you how to implement the campaign, use every images that you've created to create the campaign in the Facebook Ad Manager, explaining you every detail, every settings that you need to have and why to make it work. So whether you are an entrepreneur just starting out that want to validate a business idea, or you are already a marketer working for a company that want to improve the messaging, then you can just follow this principle, even though you don't really have knowledge with Facebook ads. And in a matter of an hour, you will really be able to create a campaign, a full testing campaign that is better than what 90% of people would do, because it's just a complicated campaign to create. And the goal of this campaign, again, why are we using that many creatives? It is because we want to test out everything. We want to get the best learning for every dollar we spend on advertising. And by doing that, we give as much freedom as we can to Facebook with different marketing angles, different hooks that target kind of a similar audience, but by a different way. And as soon as we start spending, we start to see what works. When we see what works, then we push on it. And that is the power of the Facebook ads testing in the way I'm going to show you. So I hope this introduction convinced you to watch this video, because if there is one thing I can promise you is that at the end of this video, you will never think of starting a business the same way, because now that you have this skill, you can use it again and again and again. So watch until the end. It's all for free, and I'm looking forward to know what you think about it. So let's go into it. Okay, let's build this now. We are going to take this random business idea that I generated with ChatGPT. It's just to show you, it's just an example. I wouldn't launch this business idea. It's a smart bottle, water bottle with an app. You can read it if you want, but I wouldn't start this business. And we are going to go through all the prompt stackings that I'm going to explain to you and create all the materials. So in the end, we get a list of hooks that we can use, and we get our images. Before I show you that, let me just go one step back or two steps back and explain you where it is useful for. First, if you are following the Discovery Quiz Funnel, which is a method that I'm showing in this video that you can find on my channel, then this is here. We are going to build basically this part, the advertising part of the funnel. If you are not in the position to follow that, or you haven't seen the video, but you are testing any kind of product or want to find a messaging for your business, then just look at what we are going to do so you know what we are going not to do, what we are not going to do. So basically you have your product ideation, then you get an idea, that's so cool, so you go on market research. Here I have a video for market research, and then you start having a better idea of what you want. So this is what we are going to start with right now. And from there, what we need is to find the target audience and to kind of explain a little bit more about our product, so benefits and feature. But what is important is also the step to understand the market audience, and this is what the prompt that I've created will help you to do, and it will be based on the book Breakthrough Advertising that explains what is a mass desire, and I'm not going to explain that to you. You can just Google it and have a look. It's very, very good to understand about this principle in advertising in general. So just go ahead, but I also put a little definition for each of them. What's the awareness level of the audience and what is their sophistication level, like how many different apps, similar water bottle they have seen so far. Okay, now when we understand the audience, we have our complete description, and now we want to create materials. And with the material we create, if we follow the funnel I showed you, then we need to create an ad campaign, a landing page, and a quiz. We are only going to focus on the ad campaign, which means it works both if you're following the funnel or if you are not, if you only want to work with an ad campaign. We are going to create images and written material. Okay, let's move on. I take my smart bottle, water bottle business idea, amazing water bottle, and I'm going to use it with the first prompt. The first prompt will first kind of structure the definition and add potential target audiences. Maybe you have found it, maybe you haven't. In any case, it will list a bunch of different target audiences that you can sell your product to, and then you will pick one. I am not going to walk you through every prompt because it would be way too long, and because I have some difficulties reading English written text with my accent. It's a little bit long, so I don't want to bore you with that. I'm just going to use the prompts, and because I give you the access to the Figma file, you can just go ahead, read it, copy it for yourself, and so on and so forth. So let's first start with this prompt. And I am going to use Claude because I love Claude 3. That's my thing. You can do the exact same thing with ChatGPT as long as you are using the paid version in any of them, Claude or ChatGPT, because this is where you will get the best result. But let's do it with Claude. It's exactly the same thing. I am always using Markdown, as you can see in my prompts. It helps me to structure and to give the AI exactly the structure I have in my mind. I can do it using Markdown. Same thing. If you want to check more or to know more about that, just Google it. You will find a lot of information. So I told you I'm not going to walk you through the prompt, but basically the first answer. So you start with the prompt, and the first answer it gives you is a question. Actually, tell me about everything you know about your business idea. So from there, we go back, get our business idea, and then we paste it here. And now he's starting generating, like actually doing his mission, which is structuring our product idea and finding potential target audience. Again, his mission is to use Markdown to answer, so it's more clear. At least it's more clear for me. I like it. Okay, we have different target audiences. So we have runners, struggle to maintain hydration. I mean, the problem is almost always the same, struggle to maintain good hydration. But we have runners, hikers, pregnant women, busy professional. I hate this one because it's too vague. Athletes, yeah, cool. People with chronic health condition, well, I wouldn't go for that. It's a little bit sensible, especially on Facebook. College students, unfortunately, those are not the ones that have the most money. Fitness enthusiasts, same as busy professional, way too vague for me. Elderly individuals and people living in hot climates, we are at higher risk of derotation. Interesting. I've made a first test and I thought it was not too bad to use this one, so I'm going to use it again for the sake of the example. So let's copy that. And then we are going to move on the next prompt. And as you can see, it's actually, I didn't change the text here. It's more, let me change that quickly. It's refine target audience, the one we have chosen. And here you need to just paste it here. You can do directly when you paste the prompt here, but it's just for the example. Okay. Now it knows what is the audience we have chosen. And it's going to think very hard of who they are, what they're struggling with, how do they know about the product already, because it's different if connected water bottle, you are the first one on the market, so you can just talk about, hey, this is a connected water bottle, or if you are like in a market that is already overwhelmed with all the smart water bottle, in this case, you need to find another approach to differentiate from the crowd. So this is what it does here. Situation, desire for adventure, freedom. So that's the deep desire behind it. Pushing one's limits, feeling the current in control. Well, that's good, actually. Aware of the importance of hydration, but maybe aware persona. Focus on educating them. So that's a little bit tip for advertising. Educating about the unique features and benefits of the smart water bottle. That could be better. Okay, I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to follow through the process. We also have deep pain points and also potential objections they could have. Let's move on to the next prompt. We are now going to generate the marketing materials, angles, marketing angles, hooks, and ad copies. It will be a lot more clear after that. So I'm just copying this prompt, and you will understand why I have this structure right after. So as you can see, it's really like it's one conversation. Basically, you could use different conversation if you need to, or if you start again by just importing the result that you got already, but you can do everything in one conversation now. Okay, so this is what it gives me. And we are not going to read them now. We are first going to visualize them in a better way than that, because this is just awful to work with. Okay, now I'm just copying this one, and I am going to open ChatGPT. And not any ChatGPT conversation, but what I'm looking for is whimsical diagrams. This one is awesome, really. It helps to create mind maps from a result you got from AI. So this is the result we had, and this is why I got this kind of structure, because now I'm just coming here, and then I passed my answer. Let's see. Okay, I'm pausing the video because it takes a few seconds here. All right, it's done. So yes, I allow to connect to my account. So basically here, if you don't have an account in Whimsical, it will just create an account for you. And now it created the mind map. And let's see how it looks. Okay, let's open it. Here we go. So we have our complete Facebook campaign, at least all the written stuff that we need. So we have ad campaign for smart water bottle. Just summarizing, this is our audience, outdoor hydration seekers. By the way, in this example, I am only showing you how to create a campaign for one specific audience. If you think you potentially have 2 or 3 different audiences, first you need more budget, but also you can just redo the same process for another audience simply. But for this one, it is our audience, and here it's what is specific. What I mean is, here I have the marketing angle. How do we approach the prospect to show our product, to talk about our product, and to make them click on the ad so they could come and buy it? And here we have the related hook related to the marketing angle. So let's have a look. Conquer the trials with confidence and optimal hydration. So that's the angle. That's not what we will show on the ad. But the hook is hike longer, feel stronger. Your hydration sidekick is here. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let me tell you something about the hook. First, where do we find the hook? We find it here. The way I create an ad is always by having a picture and a hook, and that is always how I do the targeting. The hook is the thing that is going to make the person stop and understand this ad is for them. So it is extremely important, since the Facebook ads audience targeting doesn't exist anymore, it doesn't work. Now we are only making broad ads without any audiences to target. It is extremely important that the hook you will have here resonate with your target audience. Otherwise, it just won't work. So you have 2 ways to do that. The first one is extremely simple, is, hey, hikers, here's my water bottle. Yeah, so you call out people right away. The second way is to use words, expressions, terms that only them will resonate with. And we can look at, if it's the case here, I would say hike longer. Already we know we are targeting hikers. Okay, so we have 10 hooks. Let's say we will use them all. Then we have ad copies. So here we have kind of a story. As an avid hiker, again, I'm not reading. That's why I've created the smart water bottle. So that's the founder story kind of ad. Introducing that's a smaller version. They are all using the AIDA framework, attention, interest, desire, action, and same thing here. And then we have 3 short headlines that we can use. Let me show you again. So we have the ad copy here, the hook, and the headline. But now you probably recall that we are sorry, I don't know how to say that, that we miss the picture. And this is the next step of our process. Let me go back here. So to summarize, we went from the business idea, created the description with a bunch of audiences. We picked one that we went through and understood deeply. From that, we created all the materials that we are going to create, to use to create our ads. We are here. We need now to do the image generation. And for that, this is another prompt that is going to create Midjourney images that you can use. And I'm going to tell you also how you can find other pictures than Midjourney, but this one, everybody can do it. Okay. All right, we have our prompt. The prompt is made to generate different kind of images, both in a good scenery, a nice kind of image, and problem-related image, and also both kind of comic style image and realistic images. You can create as much as you want. It's just, again, to make an example. And since you have the prompt, if you want to craft, I don't know, 100 prompts, then you can just go ahead and do it. 10 is good enough. Let me open Midjourney quickly. Okay, so here we are. Those were my last try, so we will see what it does now. Those are pictures for another project. And if you don't have access yet to the Midjourney Alpha, because it's only for people that have generated images, I probably have 5,000 images generated on my Midjourney account. So if you don't have it, you can just use the normal Midjourney and it will work the exact same way. Let's go back and grab our prompt. So I take this one and then create. Take this one, I will figure out if it's good or not at the same time as you, and we can decide. Let's create 4. Okay, it starts looking like something. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think I shouldn't have used the vivid color, even though I like vivid colors, but this one's nice. Okay, let's try some other ones here. And this one. Let's try them all. Okay, I'm going to pause the video now and go back when I'm done generating all the image, and normally for you it's right now. Okay, we have them all. 10 lists of 4 images. And as you can see, they are really different from one another, which is pretty cool. I like this one actually. And I want to address now the question I've mentioned at the beginning, which is, okay, but if I am selling a specific water bottle and I don't have the image of the product yet, how does it work? Can I use that as a picture? In my opinion, yes, you can, because what we want now is to sell an idea. At least if you are in the process of testing a business idea, you just want to sell an idea of a product that will be there in the future. You want to see if people react with that. If you are not in the process of testing a business idea, it means that you already have a business. It means you have pictures to showcase. And here it's an e-commerce product. It could be a picture of your app. It could be some, I don't know, like images of your happy customers, whatever. If you have a business, you already have it. If you don't have a business, it's totally fine, and you can do that. Other ways to generate, to create images. So first, I would say smart, or maybe hiking trials. I'm really bad at doing it live, but yeah, you can go here, images, and then you will look for tools. I think let me find it. Yeah, and those are the rights. So those are the ones you can use. So basically, you can, if you don't want to use Midjourney and you don't have the picture of your actual product, which again, it's no big deal for me at least, and it always has worked like that. You can go on Google and look for Creative Commons license. I just confirmed it before, but it works like that. You can use these pictures, or you can go on stocks. Picture stock I love is Adobe, and they have a nice free plan that you can use at least for one campaign. I think you have 10 free video pictures that you can use. So if I'm looking for hiking here, I have my microphone. It's very hard to use my keyboard. Okay, so here you have very good pictures, and I've created tons of campaigns using Adobe. It works really well. The last option you can use, at least in the case of it's an e-commerce product, you can go on Alibaba. I'm not going to show that, and this is the parentheses. I'm not advising you to do that, but there are suppliers that showcase their product. The best way is to email them and to ask them if you can use it, so you make ads and then you buy it later on. That's another way. So at least you have the kind of product you would like to sell. It gives an idea of the person when they see the product, and you can even mix, like taking those pictures, removing the background, and include them in pictures like that, or whatever kind of Midjourney picture you want to use. Anyway, I just wanted to point it out that in this example, I'm using Midjourney, and I've created all of that. First, because it's fun and it's beautiful, and second, because it is accessible to anybody that follows the prompts that I gave, and because it gives a result that looks good, right? So what is the next step? Now we are going to open a Figma board right now. I will do it at the same time. And we are going to create the images. What images? We are first going to focus on creating all the variations of these guys. When I see the variations, remember we have 10 hooks here, and we have 10 series of pictures. For the sake of this example, I'm going to pick one of each series, the best one, import them into Figma, and I will also import every hook, and I will create combinations of each of them. I don't know if I will do the hundreds, but I will show you how you can do it in a very efficient and fast way. So first, I'm going to pause the video and import everything on Figma. I'm already back. I have imported everything here, and I want to show you from the very beginning on how I organize them so you can do the same. So here I have all the images, they are stacked up, and here I have all the different headlines. So the first thing I would do, I would take the one image, put it on the side, and then here I would distribute horizontal spacing, align on top, and then I give a bit of space. So those are the images I've used, and I will do the same for my hooks, but this time in a different way, which is first I'm making them bigger and give a little bit more room, and I will do the same here. Take one and go there and distribute vertical spacing. All right. What I want is to have 10 lines of pictures, but I'm not doing it now. I could start and do Alt and duplicate and duplicate and duplicate and work on each of them separately, but it would be way too long. So I will first do the first line, and then I will copy everything. Let me check if I have everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 hooks. Amazing. Okay, now that we have that, how do we put it in the image? First, I forgot a thing to tell you. Before we duplicate the images, there are a bunch of little marketing tricks you can use. Remember, this image work with the hook to make the targeted person stop scrolling and read the ad, right? To click and then end up on your website. But the first thing you want to do is to stop scrolling. And I need to show you how is brain working when it comes to watching an ad. When you or me or anyone is on Facebook or Instagram, they would scroll and see things that they are used to see, but suddenly there is a kind of colorful thing that grabs their attention. And then they would first read the hook. Once they read the hook, they move down and read the headline to know what it is about. But to go there, they first need to validate, okay, that's interesting. So because it's interesting, I move there, I read that. Okay, it is still interesting. So now I'm moving up and I'm reading the ad copy. Or not, some people won't. And then I click on the button and visit the website. So if you think about it, the very, very first thing that acts on the stop scrolling is the image. This is why you want to use everything you have as a marketer to create, to make people stop scrolling. And one very first thing is to have extremely saturated pictures. Okay, depend on your branding, and some people don't like that, but what I would do first is to look to go on every picture and see how I can make them look better. So just to show you what I mean, I'm going to duplicate them and work on the first line so you will see what I mean. Here I would increase the saturation quite a lot, and I would reduce a little bit the temperature. Since it's not a human, it's a drawing, it's okay if it doesn't look completely natural, it's fine. Okay, let's do it with this one. Increase saturation, reduce a little bit the temperature. Okay, this one we don't need. This one I can add a little bit of contrast maybe. Saturation, so with the orange thing it's pretty good. Then temperature I go down. Okay, that's not bad. So you get the point. I'm pausing the video now, finishing that, and start back again. Okay, here we have all the pictures. So on the bottom, it's the original one, and here is after like 2 or 3 tricks. You can see that it's less, I don't know how to say that in English, like pale. It creates more, it's more shiny. Here it's like full saturation, for example. You know, it pops up on the feed. Here I added contrast and remove this. It's less a yellow kind of thing. Same thing. Finally, here I added a little bit of saturation. You know, it's not that bad. Here this one is really dark, but it works. And here it's full saturation. I couldn't work it better. But yeah, you get the point. So now I have changed all my pictures and I can just remove the one I wanted to keep before. Okay, now I need to add my hook within the picture. So let's just copy it by clicking Alt. And before I do that, I just forget something, is that I completely forgot a step, which is we are actually not working on the pictures. We are working on frames. And frames are things we can put a lot of stuff in. And here they are 180 by, not 180, 1080 by 1080. Brings me to something else I didn't tell you, is that now I've just imported images from Midjourney without upscaling them. But what you want to do when you do it, you upscale all the ones that you choose, which means you will have a better quality, but I didn't want to spend the time to do that for all of them for an exercise. So I will put it a little bit smaller, 1000 by 1000, it works too. And now I'm going to start framing my pictures, but before I need to create 10 of them. Just give it a little bit of organization. And that should work. Okay, now I'm importing my picture. And here there is another thing you want to do. Remember I told you about how can we make people stop scrolling? It's create tension on the picture. What do I mean by create tension? Sometimes if you start cutting someone like that, but now you don't see the, actually as a smartphone I didn't see that. It doesn't matter. When you start cutting someone, then the person would be intrigued by, hey, why is this person not entirely seen on the picture? And that is the first thing that make them read the hook. So you can now play with the pictures. So first you want to create this tension if you need to. And also remember that we need room for our hook. And in the prompt I've created on Midjourney, there is one instruction is to try to make the character not in the center of the image. So it gives room for the hook. If you don't have room, you just can't put your hook. So just try your best. I'm going to do that for each of them and go back right after. Okay, I've tried to do it. It's not easy, and again, the pictures are not perfect, but it's just an example. Here, for example, I haven't seen that yeah, we have some problem, and he has the smartphone. Pretty hard to zoom in on his face, so I just can't. Here it works, it's okay. Here I just put it in the center, so I have some room here. Here it's good. This picture is nice, just annoying. They have water, plastic bottle, water, but water bottle, it's okay. This one is really nice. This one too, I really like it actually. Just created a little cut to give a little bit more room on the right. Here I wasn't really happy. Again, the quality is not amazing, but it's because I didn't upscale the image, which you can do once for your project. So here I'm just putting it like that. This one is definitely not good. We don't have any room to put the headline, the hook. It doesn't matter. This one works, and this one works apart from the fact that he has two different shoes, but it will be fine for example. Let's move on to adding the hook now. So the first thing is I want the hook to be in a very contrasted color, and I want it to fit somewhere on the picture which is really thin. I don't have any branding for my test, so I'm going to pause again and to find some branding here. Okay, I have some. I didn't look very far. I just took the font I'm using for my website, which fits pretty well. So it's Bowl-B. Here I just decided to put it on the bottom, so it's not there is not enough room here, and I separated the text, the kind of the call, I don't know how to call it, but the first part and the second part, and then I use it here. One design thing is the bigger is a font, the more bold, the less space you want in between. So here I'm reducing the space a little bit, for example. Yeah, it works better. And then you can see appearing some difficulties that you will find. It's like, for example, here you can't read it. So, and if I put here, then there is less light. Or if I put here, maybe it's better. You can use, for example, this kind of way, which would be to create a rectangle. You make it black, and then you create gradient. Yeah, I think we say gradient. And here you have it as transparent. It's the other way around. Here and here it's 0, and it doesn't work. Let me fix that. Okay, it's just because Figma changed recently about that. Okay, so here, for example, I have a transparent gradient. So now it's a square, a rectangle, and then I can use some things like that. I need to put this one on the front, so I can fix some of the problems. Maybe I can extend it a little bit. It's like a layer. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to point that out. This is a problem you will face again and again. So if I go here, for example, here it's in white, so I want it in black, and then I want it centered, and I want to expand it. And that's a nice one, actually. I like it. And let's put it like that. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, I will do that for the rest, and again I will pause. Also, one thing you can do here, it's harder to do because it's in white, but for example, let's say the brand is orange, then I could use some nice orange color to highlight one word. Adventure smarter, not harder. Iterated effortlessly on the try. Yeah, so you can go ahead and let your creativity flows and and find the best way to showcase your product. Done. Now it starts looking like ads, actually. It's pretty cool. So I just let you have a look at it. Just use the color here. I didn't go too much into detail since it's an example. I don't want to spend hours doing it. I like this one actually, really. And especially for this hook with the talking about the trial. trial. I don't know how to say that. This one I found this way, which is not that bad actually. This one looks okay. This one looks really good too. So now it looks like ads, and that was this hook. Okay, cool. So now I have my first variation, and now, only now, no, I have another thing to add. Another kind of marketing trick you can use is to point out the direction of something with an arrow. So you will, I don't know, seeing an arrow that points something out, make people want to know what it is exactly. So you can use this trick by pointing out something specific on the image. So I'm going to do it quickly just to show you what I mean. You cannot do it all the time. For example, here there is nothing to point. Here it could be, let's make an arrow here, a nice arrow. I'm not saying it will be beautiful, right? Just saying I'm doing it to show you. Let's make the arrow orange. Yeah, it can work, but maybe I need to make this one orange too. Yeah, not bad. And then I would use that, make it a little bit like that. Okay. Okay, let's say it works like that. It's not the right product, that's a shame, but it tells you if that works, it tells you that as soon as you have pictures of the product, you do the same, and then you can use the same thing. I'm not doing it here. Here, for example, you could point out the bottle somewhere. Here, there's nothing to point out, nothing. Here maybe, and here maybe, even though it's plastic bottle water, which is pretty bad. Okay, let's go back to duplicating since I showed you this little trick. Now I'm getting them all, click Alt and Cap, and I go down, and now I have a new series. And now I want to import my new hook, which is height longer, feel stronger, your height rotation, sidekick is here. Since I already know I want this part here, I will just put it like that. And I want this part here. I will just use it like that. Okay, that's not bad. And now the principle is to do it for each of them. So just copying and paste the new hook, arrange it, make the arrow, not arrow, color, not color, and so on and so forth. So you have a new variation of every single picture with this new hook. Then once you are done, you just grab them all and again copy. And then you do it again for the new hook, and so on and so forth until you have 100 ads. You don't need to start with 100 ads. It's just, it is cool to talk about 100 ads rather than 34 or something. But basically, you can go with 3 lines. You can have 5 images and 10 hooks. You can have 10 images and 5 hooks. It's up to you. And sometimes, you have images that won't fit with the hook. I don't know, maybe let's say this one is not fitting here, so I would simply remove it. Now you just need to see it to make them all, and then you review them and you think, okay, is this one fit with the image? Yes, so I keep it. So it's why starting with the hundreds, you make them all, done, you sort them up, and then you move on to the next step. Okay, now that we are almost done with the pictures and hook, I wanted to have another look at the different materials we also got at the same time, which are the ad copies and the headlines. I've just read again the ad copies and they are not amazing. The reason why is because they are not hook related, as I said. They are general, just about hikers. So they are kind of boring. It's just for you to have something to put it. It could work, and the ad copy is not the most important part of the ad. It is important, but not the most important. The best thing is you rewrite the result that you get so it really fits to your target audience. But anyway, I took those three and also the headlines, and I've created a mockup so you can see the final result, actually how it looks. So see here, it's like just a mockup, smart high rotation bottle as an avid hiker. Sorry again, I always struggle with staying properly hydrated on the trail, blah, blah, blah. And you have a nice picture and a nice headline, and here's maybe learn more or something. And actually it looks pretty good. It's pretty nice. It pops up on the feed, makes you stop scrolling. If you're a hiker, you're definitely like triggered by that. You really want to know what there is behind. And again, creating a landing page for a product is another mission, is another thing, right? We want to attract the attention of the right person for the right problem. And that does the job. You don't need to have a proper picture that you've made yourself. It works like that. And again, if, for example, you figured that, let's say, feel hike longer is the best marketing angle, and this picture and maybe this picture are the ones performing best, it tells you something. It tells you, okay, now I'm going with my new water bottle, water bottle, and I'm going in the mountain, and I'm making shootings exactly like that with the actual product that you can showcase. But before you start the shooting, actually, you know that it works, and you also know what kind of message works. You want to go for hike longer because those are the ones that click the most and that probably sign up the most for the waiting list or whatever you want to do here. We are done with the creation. Now we are going to move on to the next step, which is creating the Facebook ad campaign. And that is it's an easy part compared to creating that. Before creating that took me like hours and hours. If you don't have the knowledge, it would take you like even more. Now with what I just showed you, you can do that in less than an hour. It's all done. You have all the images perfect. So let's go to a test ad account, and I'm going to create the campaign to include all those ads from scratch and tell you exactly all the settings you need to have in order to make it work properly. So let's go. The first thing you need to understand, and that is related to your business and your objective, is what goal do you want the campaign to achieve? Again, if I am going back here, I am recording this video as the first step of this discovery quiz funnel, which helps you to validate a business idea by generating leads through a quiz to learn about your audience, and then you launch by to your waiting list by an email sequence, a product launch email sequence. So in my case, what I want is to generate leads. I don't have a product yet. I just want leads so I can sell them my product later. And for now, it just gives me an idea of, can I generate lead for this product? So we are going to do it for that. But if you have another objective, feel free to change it to purchase whatever you are targeting. So leads, and then manual lead campaign. Okay. So smart water bottle, CBO. It's actually not called a CBO anymore, but doesn't matter. Category, no category, we are good. Campaign objective, leads, we are good. A/B test, no. Advantage campaign budget plus, that's the new name of CBO, which was campaign budget optimization. I really don't like this name because it's the same as Advantage Plus, which we are not using here. Do not do a Advantage Plus shopping campaign. You want to do an Advantage campaign budget plus. They're really bad in naming, right? Okay, now we are talking about budgets, and what I advise people to do when they start with that is to go with 20 euro, 30 euro per day at the beginning, because it already tells you so much. and it also help you to first to test your funnel to see if there is any problem. In a further video, I will show you how to track and analyze and look at the recording of the people on your website to learn as much as you can for the least amount of money, because you're in testing mode. If you already have a product, you already know kind of your product market fit almost. You would probably not do that if you would know already, but if you can spend more, just spend more if you're sure of it. But the minimum you would want is 20 euro, especially because we give so much data to Facebook. So just know that even with 20 euro, Facebook will never have the time to test all the different variations. It's just impossible. It will just go through a few of them, pick the best ones, and start running it from there. And once you have one that works, you increase the budget, and as much as you want. If you want to generate 10,000 leads, for example, then you increase the budget because you pay, I don't know, 50 cents or €1 per lead. That's up to you. But at least you only increase the budget when you know what works and what doesn't. Next step, note that you don't want, run ads all the time. Yes, here, ad sets. Here we are using the first thing I'm going to show you before I go all the way down from the beginning is where it is already dynamic creative ads. Where is it? Oh, here, sorry. So we are going to use dynamic creative ads, which will allow us to have one ad that contains up to 10 pictures. I think it's 5 ad copies and 3 headlines. So because we are using dynamic creative ads, it's kind of the ad set and the ad are mixed together, meaning you have one ad set that contains one ad. You can't have several ads per ad set. So there are, imagine that it's only one thing, right? And for the naming, to know when you analyze what works and what doesn't, what I would do is, for example, here I would get the first one, which is the first one we have worked on. I take the angle and I use it as the name of the ad set. And then I would take this one and then I would use it as the name of the ad. So you know when you analyze your ad, what works best. That's a very, very old product that just showed up here. So the other thing you can do also would be to just use the same thing, the hook, and write ad set before, so you know when you are in the ad set and whatever. Not important. You name it the way you want, as long as you find your way into it. Let's go back now to the beginning of the ad sets. We want to generate website traffic to our website. We don't have a pixel yet created. That's just a test old account. And here you select the event that you want. We said before, we want lead. I don't know why it is not on, I just put it on dynamic creatives. That's funny. Okay, the budget and the schedule. The budget is managed by the campaign because it's campaign budget optimization, CBO. So you don't have it here. And start date in the future, whenever you want. Just think when you start a campaign that you have a lot of pictures, so it might take a bit of time for Facebook to review everything. So the sooner you publish it, even though you publish it and you turn it off, the better, so it can just be validated, and then you can turn it on whenever you want. Let's go down. Scheduling, we don't need that. Audience control, we don't want that. But here we need to talk about audiences. The only targeting that I would use nowadays, that I'm using nowadays, is just a country or language. For example, let's say I'm in Europe and I want to sell a product to the French market. The normal way would be to say, okay, I'm selling to France, maybe Luxembourg, which is a small country next to France, Belgium, It's not completely French, but majority of people is speaking French. And Switzerland, half of the country is speaking French. So I would go for that. But I could also go for Europe, for example, if I can ship my product there or later. And I would narrow down by using language is French. Just know that if you select a language here, what it says, so if I do what I just said, French all, and for example, I'm using, I'm targeting edit. I'm targeting Europe. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah. Okay, here, basically, what it says to Facebook is it will show the ad to everybody, every person that has French as the language of the Instagram app or the Facebook app. So you need to know that because sometimes you will narrow down by language because let's say you are selling, you have an ad in German and you think, yeah, I can do it to only German language people. But there are a lot of people that are not German native, so they have their app in English, but they understand German, but you will never target them. If you don't, the less you narrow, the better. The more you give freedom to Facebook in the audience, the broader you are, the better. Because again, what I told you before, that is your targeting. Only that. Only your ad makes Facebook find the right people. Once Facebook starts running the ads, it starts knowing what works, what are the ads people are clicking on, and then it starts showing it to more people, the same kind of people. Then at some point, some people would go on the website and click and go a little bit further and maybe become a lead. Then Facebook knows, okay, for this ad set, this is the kind of people I need to look for. And this is nothing related to interest targeting or to country or anything. So yeah, I went a little bit too far on that. I just wanted to point out that just use as minimum targeting as possible and no audience, no interest as we did in the past. Here, that is what you don't want to do. This is, I don't know how it's useful for. It's recent. You can leave it like that. And always give as maximum placement as possible to Facebook. And next we have the ad. So let me open this one. Here, well, that's another old page. Let's start by the beginning. So we named it already. We don't want a partnership ad. You select your page, you select your Instagram account. If you don't have one, you can use the Facebook page instead, but I recommend you to have one. It's a lot better. Then go down, ad setup, manual upload. This is what we want, and we want single image or video. We don't want multi-advertiser ads. I'm not going to explain what it is because I will speak on for another 5 minutes, but we just don't want it. And then we start selecting images, right? So let me show you how you can import all your images. Let's back to Figma. Let's go back to Figma. Now, what I want to do, first, actually, I'm going to go on my desktop and I'm going to create a folder, which I'm calling campaign. And within this folder, which is right now on the side, I'm going to create another folder and I'm going to use the name of the hook. So I'm putting that on the side. I'm not going to do it for all of them, but just for enough so you understand what I mean. New folder. Let's do the two first ones. Okay, so I have them. Normally you have your 10 folders here. And then I go back to Figma. and I go ahead and I select the whole first line. You need to select everything. Export PNG, it's fine. The size is 1000 by 1000, it's fine. Didn't tell you though why we are using squared images. It's simply because this is the format that goes everywhere on Facebook. So it's not the most optimized, but by using squares, square images, you are perfectly fine. You will be shown everywhere. So don't use rectangles. And then I save it here. And then I would go on the second one, do the same thing, export PNG. Show it long. Okay, go back to campaign, find the second one, save. Okay, you get the points. I do it for the 10 of them. Then I move on the different folders and I just extract it. Extract here. Right, so I have 10 pictures here and I do that for the 10 different folders. Extract here. Boom. Perfect. Let's get back to the ad manager. And now we are going to go for select images. And here, upload. Go to my campaign, and we said that we are working on this one, and I select them all. Okay. Wait a little bit. So it is uploading everything. All right, they're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Didn't work. 8, 9, and 10. We have them all. Move there. Continue. Okay, we have all our different pictures. That's amazing. And now, okay, this one optimized creative for each person. I leave it just because I'm always in the mindset of giving the more freedom to Facebook as I can. But what it means is it will create some variation of the picture. Sometimes it will add a song behind it. Sometimes it will make a zoom. It will make carousel out of it, out of 3 of them, whatever. I just let it run and it's fine. Okay, now we have primary text and you can see add text option. Primary text is basically add copies. So I go back to the place where I have all my stuff here and then I pick the first one that normally you have modified to make it right. Okay, I'm too perfectionist. Okay, I need to stop. I just show you an example here. I will take the second one, add text option, and then I will take the third one, add text option, and done. Then you put some emojis if you like, and some space, and go to the next line, and so on. That is new, and I've never used it, to be frank. So I guess we already have generated our headline with add copies with AI, so we don't need it. And same thing here. I will use that one headline, add an option, 2 headline, add an option, and 3 headline. Here, as you can see, you can add more add copies. I'm not doing it, but I think the maximum, yeah, it's 5 anyway. Okay, we are almost done. Description, you don't want to use it. Only if you have a very specific need, but basically you have only so much room on the bottom of the ad here. And if you use a long headline, it will take the room for the description. So if you use a description, you don't have room for the headline and then it's cut. So you don't want, I'm never using description. I think it's useless. So we don't need that. Website URL, to see that we need an URL. So I'm going to just put one of my websites here. So it shows the ad. Well, we don't have the right page, but doesn't matter. Okay, looks good. Pretty cool. Display link is the link that is going to be shown here. You can change it, but you need to have the domain already. And tracking is just another topic, is when you have set up everything. Okay, from this point, what you have done is basically created the campaign, which will contain all the different ad sets and the ad, the first ad set and the ad that is included in the first ad set. But you have a lot of other ads to create. So how do you do that? First thing I encourage you to do is to go back on the ad set level and verify everything. Just make sure you don't leave something wrong by mistake. Same thing on the ad. Once you are done, what does it say here? Okay, for some reason, because this ad account was disabled, I couldn't show you how to duplicate it. I'm not going to do it because it would require me to recreate the campaign on another ad account. But from there, the process is exactly the same. Basically, what I just said is you go on the ad set level, click here, then quick duplicate, you change the name to the new angle, go to the ad under the new ad set created, change the name of the ad to the hook, and then you come here, and then you would remove all of them, the 10 of them, and you do it again. You upload the new ones, so you go back to Figma. Maybe you have done it before, you have it on your folder, and then you select them all, the new ones, actually, and you upload them all. And you do it again and again and again until you have your 10 ad set, if you have 10, or 5 if you have only 5. And that's it for this video. Now you know how to go from a very, very small business idea brief to creating hundreds of ads variation and creating a campaign that will tell you how to what works best for your business idea or your product. In further video, I will explain how to really look at data and find the story behind the data. So just to make sure you're not missing out, you can subscribe to the channel so you will be notified. You can check the bell. I don't know how you say that. Yeah, so we'll get the other ones. If you have if you didn't see this video, the one I show here, and that is on the screen very soon, this is the one that shows you the whole funnel, how you can go from an hypothesis to an actual launch of your business idea. So I really encourage you to watch this one. If you haven't, if you are not in the process of launching, then you have this video, which finds you how to go on deeper market research on Reddit, which people really liked. So you can watch this one too. I see you in the next video. Bye bye.